Dr Rngad ke Nazaret Hospital Shillong, Dr Rngad, ulak Pynrem yang tu gibriu kibala kyntait ban ai jaka lek buram khaddu ya kamet jong Dr Sailo rinta thiang. Wat bantep haga kper jong Tang namar bau khlat na jingstam bau layo no khyang jingpang coronavirus. Wala ula ai baro si jingim ya kipat ba sitom mat jinjar. Ulong bakalong ke jingle ran makibriu kibakam baki de gijat benriu tip blei kinle kum gani ya kibala le bahaya ki. Dr Rngad ha ke jingpalai khobor mendak sing ula batairu ya ke jingdan kam makipat ba ki de banle banyada na ke jing sapriang jo khyang jingpang covid khat khandai. Bat kumju kumno kipat ba kinle hakum kani gapor bakaparthei kayukhon balait no ne khyang.
This is a talk given on matters arising from the death of Dr. Sailo on the 15th of April 2020 as requested by the government. Dear friends, Dr. Sailo, one of the prominent doctors of our state as well as of other states in the northeast, died early in the morning on the 15th of April 2020. It was something which was unexpected and a very difficult thing for many to accept. We express our condolences to his family at this time of loss. He has served our state and our people for many years as a healthcare provider, both for the city of Shillong through Bethany Hospital and for the public of Nongpo and the surrounding areas through Bethany Outreach, as well as other services. His service also extended to Mizoram, which also feels a great loss. However, what is sad to think is that when he died, his body was not accepted to be buried even in his own property or allowed to be taken to the crematorium. This may be from fear, but the same people who received blessing and help in their illnesses in the past have rejected him. I feel that it was the same 2000 years ago for our Lord Jesus Christ, that those who sang Hosanna when he went into Jerusalem because they thought that he was coming as a king, in a short time rejected him. I am ashamed of my people, which calls itself a Jingpynshai Tiblei. Others are now looking down on us because they thought we would be better than this. I express my appreciation of the churches which have offered him a resting place. And finally, the Jingpynshai Presbyterian Church. I have been seeing patients since the lockdown. Presently, I am in self-isolation, but I will go back to the hospital at the time which is kept for me. What if I get the illness from one of you? I am more than 70 years old, so my risk of severe illness or death is higher. If I die, will you reject my body? How would you feel if it is one of your loved ones? Our healthcare workers are doing what they can to look after you. Yes, they are afraid, but they will go on. But they are also rejected by house owners and not allowed to go back home. If you say that we should not look after patients with this illness anymore, let us close all our hospitals and stay at home. A word to those who use social media. What does it benefit you to tear down people with the posts which you put out or forwarding the posts which you do not understand? It's not only people but those who are suffering and hurting. Does it benefit you to do that? The government of Meghalaya has requested me to give some awareness about this illness, and I will take some questions which we have received from time to time. But now I have expressed my own personal feelings as well as on behalf of the government, and I take responsibility for the words I am saying at this time. Now for awareness. The government has done what it could to prevent entry of this illness to our state, but it has come, and it is sure that no country, even the richest countries of the world, could prevent it. As we know well, this illness spreads by coughing and sneezing, and a dead person does not cough, nor can he breathe. After death, the body is sealed in a body bag, and there are procedures to be done which are laid down by the government of India. It is also advised to finish the funeral rites early and not many people to attend it. But after burial or cremation, there is no reason for the virus to spread. Yes, there is fear, but a war may bring out the best in us or the worst in us. Let us be strong instead of weak. I have also been asked to mention a few rules and to strengthen what has been taught before. That is still important for us, for our own good and for the sake of the community, to follow what has been taught. That is, to maintain social distancing. I don't need to explain it at this time. To remember cough etiquette, which means to cover our nose, our face, nose, mouth when we cough or sneeze to prevent spread. And to remember to wash our hands frequently. It is safe not only for ourselves but also to prevent further spread of this virus. A note on the role of our communities. Many Shnongs are very supportive. We thank them for their efforts. However, this is a very fluid and changing situation, and we cannot have answers for all possible events. And therefore, we may find lapses as new situations arise. But I request you to kindly have faith in the system so that all can work together. If each decides to do their own thing, it will lead to chaos. With a heavy heart, I urge all to be one at this time of crisis. Death will come to us all, but my question is, how did I live? Parlok nang snap. Dr Sailo walong uway ni Dr Bapawnam hakajala jungi paru hakiway kijala jungani ka thain sate lam migi ula khlar no dang step ha ka khatsandri ubna yeyong arjar arko kalong ka jingkendit ya kibabon uniw Dr ula syakri ya kajala hakarukom barat ba hakalyang jo ka jingko jingkhia takisnem di babon ula yarak ka star silong lengba ka Bethany Hospital padia ki paidbah babon hasolong ka sinong nong po lengba ka Bethany Outreach ula la ruban penyari ki lat jingerap syaga jela Mizoram ka Lasem ka jingdo ka bakrau lengba ka jingklat jong andrei ka basnosi ban perkhat kalong bahabau layap la pensyang ya ka met jong sene bat satai ba amdan ba sya on tep ya ka met jong wat halak kejong kecaka lani ban thang ka lese ka dei na ka jing skong shapting ndai kita ki jo ki briu ki blayo mat ya ki jingker khu ka jing erap ka jingpang ka jing stong report balale kila kyntait yau nasngo ka long kum jo yu try Jesu kita ki paidbah yu perta hosana por urum si Jerusalem namar gimot urum ku musiem adin kediat por ki kyntait yau ngaskole ran nak benta ka cai penriu jongi ka baong ka dei ka cai penriu tip blai ki wei ki cai penriu kila kren ben yangi nama ba kila perkhat ni kham klan banya kane ngapen pau jing sngomo ya ki balang bla terwa bantep ya kamet jong bat agabokut ya kabalang Presbyterian riat samtia ngalapet Bersama nampang hostel agak por lockdown mentang ngadang don po isolation ya di ndai kan sapor poi ke por dengan dek biang hostel kumno la dengan bit ya kan ke jingpang napi ngalapalat nyokos nam teladang ayo ya kan ke jingpang kalau pun kamjur lene la pun poi shah ke jingyao kyntait ikamat cuma kumno pin snow lele kerja ya kiba jongpi kinong sumar ki lele kapala bersumar hoi makiru ki syateng bu don ke jing snow siir andrai kinang ye trai andrai ya kiru la kyntait na ki trai badam shah so iki bande ye lada bi om sumar so iki to ki bapang ya kan ke jingpang itu ini ham di hospital baru baginya sanggut iya kemudian komentar jempi gue pendengar di sosial media pun ke WhatsApp berkiwe berkat bah komentar ayu ya pi dah ke pipa ya ki post ki message dan yang ke forward ya ki klaim suatu ki bersang men patar buat ban lekot mengkai ya ki dok not ki jingmot jing perkat kam tam jong itu bersam ki jing jinja ki por kum kini kayarap kum noi pi benle uta sobha da perkat ba kesorkan megala ka bathai ngawan ai ki jingshai halor kane ki jingpang bat ki ge bede ki jingya lengba jongka kin sadan ka sabdan ko por hadi ngane ban jawab ka to ka ni jingkeli ki bangi juyo ngal ko ngo ya ka jingpha ndrei ka jingkren junga ni ko por ka deru ka jing smau junga marwei kong ri simet pat na kit kli ya kini kentin junga ki banga kren ha ka ni ko por ban pois ki jing pensai pindiak ke sorkar jungi kalele kat bala ban pelai na ka jingrung jong niu jingpang ke jela jungi andai kalawan ban ngis ngau tho ba kano kano ngari ru wat ki baru spa kimla ban khang ya kani jingpang kala pon na ba jor ho ba sandria bat ni tip hai ta ubayap penban jor ho lani sandria so ba la ban persa nan sil ba hadian balayap la khang la ilmet rukom balabu bat pyndep katkum ki kendon balabu Dr Sarkar India kebahar bantep kloy kat bala bat kibabon kimla bandik bantep kani sisa kalau bejingdo ke bentar jungi ndrei ndala tep lani la thang uniu kenyang umdan jingba nar bentar kito ki badan hasaudam ko jing syakte kedon ndrei hakutma Bahatam ru kami nengi andai bas new tam ru kalapan mi tungi nyelom ki bakhlain kendia ru loinga ban penkenmau ya ki kendon balabu ban yabot ban tini dang don kam ban yai biteng ban yarap nama wa ke jingpang kadang don ngin kenmau ban le kata ki om social distancing ban ye penjai iwe ban like ke jing pensapret ngin kenmau ta ki om cough etiquette kata mut jing banjer ho bantap mut sintur ki jungi po ba jun ho lani sanria ngin kenmau ya ke jing tekti ta ba bayai ba ka sabon bon sen ban yada ya diru ba ban yada nama ngilak tak sini setai di ban berkoi kiti man la kapor kayarap sibon wadam klet ya kini kediaru nak benta jong ka benta jong kisnom bat ka imlang sa lang jongi kum kibriu kisibak snom ki bobon kilalong sisa kibayar kesan sibon barok kata ni benpau jing ai kublai ka benta jong kijing pesang jong ki barok kilele kan pala ban penbena ban yarap ban kersan banya ai kabang kedi na bentak tung besyam ya kajing lanat but sisa kalorong kajing kerku ya isnam kijungi ndai gani kalong kapor tu kajing kela kaba step banginam la bandan juba ya AK bar beja kesan la ban lap kijing duna jing bombyang handai kedai kajing kepat menginya yaine dia syak but sanya akar rukom penyai nak benta menginya lah punya trelang dah kawai kajing mut pada wei kemensem dari iwe ngi persang menle lakajong kajing mut kan selam sekajing kurma dah kemensem jong jing sokya kerpa DP ngini snok tilam akaba ngini job ya kan ke jingpang ngin sa job jingya sisa kan wan aparo ya pi ba nga ndrei ke jingkali jungai pi kalong apa ke jingya kawan ndrei ngalaim kumno. These are certain questions which have been asked. I will try to answer them as far as possible. The answers may be not fully adequate. I have tried to find them from people who have been advising, and the recommendation may change from time to time as we know, as the situation is fluid. People have been asking questions from the counseling centers, and these are some of the questions which have been put. How do we catch the COVID-19 virus? How does it spread to other people? And how do we test for it? We can catch the virus from a positive patient who may or may not have symptoms. Therefore, use of a mask and social distancing are the best tools we have to prevent spread of this virus. It may also be contracted from touching surfaces that have been contaminated with the virus. Therefore, wash your hands frequently, or use a hand sanitizer, and clean the most commonly touched surfaces at home and work with a sanitizer or soap and water. Question: what are the steps I am supposed to take if I have been to Bethany Hospital and developed symptoms at home? If you have been to Bethany Hospital since the 22nd of March, the government guidelines are clear. Quarantine yourself at home and inform 108. Do not wait for symptoms to start to quarantine yourself, because by then you may spread the virus to other members of your family and others too. If, however, you have developed symptoms, immediately inform 108 or 1070 and tell them when you were at Bethany and that you have developed symptoms. A question: a lot of people say that this virus is like a flu. How do I treat it at home? Some say paracetamol is enough to cure it. Yes, the virus does cause a flu-like illness and is very difficult to differentiate from it. The only way we can do it is by using very sensitive tests that differentiate the virus from others causing similar illness. As of now, there is no treatment for the virus. However, it is important to keep in mind that 80% of the population develop mild symptoms and do not need to be hospitalized. 80% once more. Of the remaining 20%, only 5% need ICU care. In these 20% who need hospitalization, the largest group overwhelmingly are those which have risk. And what are these risk factors? It is important for you to know. So, if you have symptoms and you have these risk factors, then it is important. Age more than 60 years, pre-existing heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, other chronic lung ailments, kidney and liver disease, cancer, and other forms of immunosuppression. Paracetamol helps in relieving fever and body ache, but it does not lead to cure of the infection. Question: when should I be worried about my symptoms? Do I need to go to a hospital? Whom should I call? Call 108. What are the symptoms that you should be looking for? Fever, cough, difficulty in breathing. Sometimes body ache, stomach upset, and loss of smell. This is one of the important features now which we know, loss of smell or taste. There are only two reasons as of now for hospitalization. The first is difficulty in breathing, and the second is if you have any risk factors as mentioned above. If you have risk factors, then even if you have mild disease, it is advisable to mention the same to 108 and go to hospital. Question: we live in a very small house and we share a common bathroom. How do we practice self-isolation? Is this different from quarantine? Self-isolation is a form of quarantine that occurs at home or your place of dwelling. If you have a small house, it is not easy to do. The best course of action is to inform 108 or 1070 and tell them your situation so that you can request for admission to a corona care center. If the above is not possible, try to sleep in a separate bed at least 6 feet away from everyone. Wear a mask at all times. Avoid speaking directly to any family member and try to employ a barrier between you and that member. Eat separately and wash your own plate and hands thoroughly using soap and water. The latest studies say that this form of quarantine in a small house with other family members is not suitable. A coronary care center is better. Question: what is PPE? Everyone is talking about it nowadays. Do I need it? PPE is a name for personal protective equipment. This refers to the coverings that we employ to protect anyone in close contact with a known or suspected patient. It includes hood, goggles, a mask which may be of different types depending on the risk, a face shield, a full body gown, shoe covers and gloves, which may be up to 3 pairs at a time depending on the need. As a member of the public, you do not need it. A mask, hand sanitizer or soap and water, and social distancing are all that are required. Maintain these in the best possible way and remind others also, it is important, remind others also around you to do the same. Avoid spitting indiscriminately. Remember, this is good manners as well as for this disease. Question: a staff from Bethany Hospital was present at a social gathering with me. Should I be worried? No, you do not need to be worried unless you are in close contact for a prolonged period of time. I shared a meal with a person who has been a visitor to Bethany Hospital. Should I be worried? No, you need not be worried unless the person was in close contact with a known positive case. If I face other ailments apart from fever, cough, and I need medication but the police won't allow me, what should I do? First and foremost, carry your prescription if you have one with you. If you are refused permission, call 108-1070 and explain the problem calmly and do not panic. If the situation is an emergency, the police will not obstruct you. Question: I work at a bank. One of the staff of the Bethany Hospital came and had contact with me. What do I do? Our answer is: did you maintain social distancing? If yes, then there should not be a worry. If you are in close contact for a prolonged period of time, that is the difference. If you have maintained social distancing, do not worry. If you are in close contact for a prolonged period of time, it would be advisable to inform 108 and practice self-isolation. Question: one of my family members have come back from an affected state, or one of my family members have come back from Bethany Hospital. Can I catch the virus by washing her clothes and dishes? No, washing of dishes does not pose a hazard if a few precautions are taken. You need to wear a mask and gloves and wash the dishes thoroughly with soap and running water. And first, do not shake or agitate the clothes excessively. Soak them in hot water and ordinary detergent or soap if you do not have a washing machine. If you use a washing machine, set the temperature to 60 to 90 degrees Celsius. Use a mask and gloves and dry out the clothes thoroughly, preferably in the sun. Somebody has asked a question: I want to be a responsible citizen and I want to reduce the transmission chances. Please give me some advice so that I can practice individually, as a member of family and as a member of a closed compound. The best way you can do this is by social distancing yourself from others, whether on a personal basis, as a family member or a member of a closed compound. If you are a suspect, then isolate yourself and maintain precautions mentioned earlier. Wear a mask at all times. I want to get tested because it will give me peace of mind if my result is negative. Should I do this? Testing for this disease is a science, and it will turn positive only after the virus is present in sufficient quantities in your nasopharynx and oropharynx. The virus will remain in these secretions for a variable amount of time, but is usually negative after 3 weeks. Therefore, testing of the disease for the disease at the right time is important. Testing at the wrong time can lead to a false sense of security if found negative. There are 2 tests available, the RT-PCR and the antibody test, rapid diagnostic test. These are different ways to test the disease. I will not go into detail for this. I have a newborn baby. I just visited Bethany Hospital. Can I still breastfeed my child? In view of the information we have so far, and this may change, if you do not have any symptoms, it is likely safe to breastfeed your child after you have washed your hands and your breasts with soap and water. If you have symptoms, the first thing to do is to use a mask and breastfeed with frequent washing with soap and water of your hands and the breasts. What do I do if there are other medical emergencies which are unrelated to the COVID-19 virus? For example, my father needs a dialysis, or my mother has some heart condition which will need immediate care. You can visit any hospital that has the facilities to treat a family member for the same. If there is any problem, please call the numbers which are available. There is a lockdown and curfew and I have a medical emergency. However, the police or the Shillong stopped me from going because I violated the curfew or lockdown. How do I convince them, or whom do I call? As mentioned earlier, explain the urgency of the situation. If necessary, ask them to see the patient after they have masked themselves, employed social distancing and proper hand washing. If there is still a problem, call 108 or 107 and explain the problem. Question: these days there are a lot of forwarded messages, screenshots, videos and so on. How do I confirm their credibility? Never believe in everything that you see or read on social media. Some of it will be true, but most of this information is false or partially false and is not based on fact. It is very difficult to sort out the true from the false, and in view of this, wait for press releases from the concerned authorities in the government. Question: a person just passed away due to coronavirus and he or she is very close to me. Can I attend the funeral? If yes, how do I protect myself? If no, may I know the reason why? No, it is advisable to stay away despite the difficulty in doing so and the emotional bonds involved. The reason for this is that there may be other positive persons who are from the immediate family. They may pose a risk of infection to others around them. Emotional reactions that happen during a death or burial are part of human nature, which may lead to acts of love and kindness involving hugging and crying, which pose a risk to others. And this is a very sensitive issue we are dealing with, and naturally we understand the frustrations, anger and sadness involved. However, for the interests of all, it is safer to follow what is mentioned above. Question: we live in a small house and our family member is working with the government who has to report to work. Should we be worried, as we don't know how to isolate? There should be no reason to worry. When the person goes to work, he or she must use a mask and socially distance themselves from others while performing their work, and wash hands with soap and water frequently. Should we count 21 days from the time we met with someone from Bethany or from the day the first case was declared? 14 days is the accepted period as of now from the time of your contact. To be absolutely sure, if it is practically possible, 28 days may be acceptable. At what time do we know we have to report for testing because we have been told to just observe our symptoms and isolate? As mentioned earlier, development of any symptoms, especially breathlessness, is when you will have to report. Further instructions will be given to you. Kumno laban yo ikane jingpang COVID kandai. Kumno ka separate kiwe. Ilaban yo ikane jingpang na nopang budan ka. Balaban berpau ya ki sign. Budan kumbejer ho bat ka ambe kle bat ka kishit. Tidak kam ban pendang kam ni kemas, ban yang penjengai ni bagi orang social distancing. Kini bulan kam sibon. Tak boleh orang dah kata ya ki jaka kiba ladan ni virus. Tidak kam ban terkti sibon sen kat bat ka bat ka sabon la ni hand sanitizer. Ban koi kita jaka kiba ni jui kata bon sen. Ada melek pemulung la dengan alek sah Bethany Hospital. Buat ngayo kini Jingpynshai Jingpang. Tapi ladan hampir lah poi si Bethany Hospital nado aku umas. Kalau Jingpang nak sorkan kalau ID rukom le, dia punya sa no hayin, ban tip syaka 108. What up ban dan semua badan ke Jingpang. Nama bersuai data la ban sampai dikasih kiwe pat badan kiba yang sem jopi. Dah mulai pau itu ni dah kemudian jingsit cerah ani pangmet di pentip sekawan 08 lani we not nyau not bayar tu eki menuh ila dan sa Bethany. Ibon ki ong bong ni virus ulang kum ka flu kumno ngara semua mereka hayeng. Orang ni virus ulang kum ka flu hi berkat stang ban ya pen pair na kiwe pat ki flu. Bat ngila ban tipikal tang le balik di test bukan pair ka. Dan ke semari ni hendai ke ba kam dan kami ban ken mau kalau ban ki sispa ki yo ya ni virus thap phau ni kita ki yo tang ka ba malum lah ke jingpang ba dan kam ban sa hospital ni. Nak kini ki arpo ki basa tang san na kita dan kam ban dan na po ICU. Ki kan dan kam sisa ka ba kita ki dan kam bagi kita di bulan kami bandung hospital kita pun kita kiwi pat ki jingma ke jingin ki dan kiwi pat sitong ki dan lupa ki gini menengkong kalau kerta pala di dan terusnya baat dan jingpang jauh kurang senam jingpang sini jingpang BP jingpang sedang kumpul jingklai dan not cancer berkiwi rukom jingpang teman. Wai bandi doi paracetamol kaya rap ban pendunai ke jingsit ke jingpang jo kamet andre umirap ban pen khoi yang jingpang jikali golong kumno lanu ngadi ban khuslai spang di ya so jong na jong ni don kam ne am di hospital don kam ban phone jo we not ra but din pe ikini ki jing sko hapo ya fiba ki din pe jing shit dan jer ho dan jing shitam man rin sem jing pang jo kamet jing sniu po but teng bom la ban myo so jing smart na jing ba man di jing do jong ka bo jing smart ko lang ko but ban sa hospital dan tang asli ki daw ban kong long la shitam man rin sem berkebaan kalau ada dan kino itu kala orang mensua kibat jingpang dan lupa dan lupa itu dan kam sisa wat la jingpang jong ni corona kaduna bade mensa ko dan ni sa akayeng kepada bah baca kali sebar kalau kamasum dulu kalau kepada bengia lelang di kebanginnya penbetal lani kebanginnya bukan panggil dia dari bakiom quarantine dan self isolation ada kayen kepada sisa kalau kabeh wasuk ban pendap kunta kalau khamba kalau la sila kayi rintan yen ban pentip sai we not proud we not not but itu iki kalau kunta la sikila menyelam dia pi syarat tak jaga bakiom corona care center kapan bukan panggil diaในดับบันเซตเฮาแต่ปลาแต่พวกแต่ที่จริงเที่ยเร็วพุดโวยนะก็เว้ยนั่นก็มีธรรมะสกีปอดบารอว่าเด็กเกินเบ็ดเดริยาคิวปัดคิบหายเองบางหลักจงใส่ยาหลักจงเปลี่ยนที่ดากาสบันก็นี่ก็คำดาบ้าบัดคำพาละเสบันเล็กเชฟกอรอนนาริแกสันตาKaya gani ka PPE ukiya kan kibriyo madan kam na em ni PPE kani ka long ka jing kini jing sok ki baya dai ni ban na kito ki be dan ha achan ha jong kito ki pang ya kani ka jing pang dan jing tak ka khamat ki ka mask ba de ki rukom ki rong ba khair ha ka gown ka ban do clear do chan ki jing tak ki juti ba ki gloves kum Kiriu paidbah Pynrem kam ya kan PPE Pynrem kam ni mask Jingpynshai kam ya ki itu di jingktait bagi Jingpynshai we kalau biang buat ya biang kulmar pathar senia bersertai nomor ba kani ko spread ini jingpang buat kalong ko bom internet atau kom buat kakor jingkeli kalong dan iba tre po betani hospital ki ya dan hajan ya dan aku ini jengah kedua lang berna, sudah dan kamu kuslai, light setang berkedun hajan bahita, buat kapor olong kabakam jalan, bagi kedua lang kamu kepala dia kesepok kasanin. Nala bam jalan buat dua Julek saya berjadi hospital, dia kuslai ni cuma dan kamu kuslai sibon nama light setang bahita beri dan hajan bagi di nang sumar ya tu kibala kenal dan kini jingpang kadang-kadang kiba ki jingpang kadang kam dawai di pulit kim sai na le amno dan kom ka bala ti ra ki ka dawai ki jongpi dan kim pat shahi sapon dia kawan 108 sispa ka we not not Baya to eki mungkin batla dan desa kaba keke boleh kinam sistem ini. Jikali kalau na tre po ban, ba iwe ba tre po betni lawan ba kilaya kendo ba ngam. Jiba pulang lada pilaya penjengai iwe ni iwe ya pendengkam di mas dan tiga takam dan dengkam ba selai sibon lai stang pilai song acan bah bat agapor bejrong ba ko jalan. Lalu pemuda kabah tip syaka we not ra bat ban pen kerbang no ilade iwe na kiba yin ngat lawan ka jaka kabah don gani jingpang la nen ko betni hospital nala ban yo ne ngani jingpang da wang na thet sai ki jan jong ki terbang jong ki jing tiar jong ki jing sai jong ki terbang jadi kam da dan kejing mai pi lada pi buat kata ane ki common le dan common dengi kemas but tapi level le ki gloves or dala pan sai bha ki ni ki tiar daka buat kesaban but in the government kijan they will contest palat eki nama boleh contest kapan set dia yang dia mesti kijan but pada eki apa ke baklut but ke sabun tapi dan ke washing machine dia buat ya ka jingkren jong ada untuk po do dai ko degree jong ka centigrade penun kam mas gloves penun kem ma kijan hakas ni kat bala thì ngakwa ban long nok song snong ba kit kle ngakwa ban duna ke jing sapret ke jingpang ai jing yarap jing batai wa bahatam gor kom la ban le ne ke long ba pi chinai el de iwe but la long po ye ke sel na ne po ka snong ka thao la pi dei ba ya kendo ba ti to kiba la si ba pang ti don kam ba pin ka pang ma ina de but both itu belong shah. Weekly orang akuan yo test nama mengandung hamsuk pun sim dalam tip perkara negatif. Kini test kidon but ini kalau belum positif lah ni kalau yo I perkara kedai shisha tentang hak kapol jungka but kadang kapol kini sentur jungi but dia kemud dan ni apa. Padahal kan hadian lain tu kalau aja no artai di kadang kam sibun ni suatu angkor kumno bantes bahkan ni kita kila dia ban kismot ko kita ada ni test rapor bang day isu bantes kalau lama ni sekali berkat kalau negatif re ni berkat re kam le sisa komta iwe kili ngadan ilung iba dang dekha ada suwan sina hospital bertani ngalane man ai pun kilom jengah kat kom jing suko jengi mentah ya long ada Pynrem jing kiwe ki jing ide ko ni jingpang ko kejar ho bat ka jing shit tadang biang ya pi ban ai pun kilom tang kam sat bah ya la ki jong ti ba ya ki jing bun jong pi na ban ta ki khoi ban ai lada dan jeho dan kam shaw dan kam kemas sekelipat kiwe nan le kom no dan kiwe ki jing sistem bangede buat ni ga covid kan dai kumba la si ba dan kam yo dialysis ni dan kam sumare cross na ila ban lex kono no hospital ko dan ki lad ban sumare ko kini bat dan sistem e pon biang kumba tv ki helpline number sispa rawat lewat not kadang curfew bat nga dan sistem mga public hospital dari kulit bat isnong kim sa nomor ba ya persia curfew kumno nga oi ki kumngi ong swa itu lagi kajing kerki panle dan pang dari kilaya deng mas pen i nampang bat dan problem ini sa phone biang pasien tho katai akini kisi ibon ba kini ki jing ha message ha ke social media jungi ki belum ki WhatsApp an kira aku noi ki ba ki dei bisisya ni bom dei ki ba ni kalau buat nget akan no konoro ba yo I ha kini social media kindon ki ba dei sisa ba ndri bobon te ki bom la man kena kila man no ki ba klaro ba ki bom la man kena ke sistem dia tip kano ba day ba no line ke hakani ka bahwa up yang bentar di pengguna jangka serkar luar kani kado I dan iwe ba kelat naka coronavirus buat kide ba nges ngomjan ngala ne man lek kajing lik antep ya I ngala kumno ngani dai lagi ada amsha balai mamsha kabah ban omlek sya bali mantap watlah kalau ke sistem ban nomlek kidan kijing snow komersial juga ban pakai jingktat entre dak si kidan kiwe pat kibodan jingpang naki bahai nasem cerita bat kilaban ya cicuk kene jingpang kiwe pat kibodan hajan Bakal lu jing semua jumi yang kapal baklat pangide mani jan ide mani keduk iwe kidin mani yam lu tu di kani buat kalau sisa kali mak ko krau kalong si siya kay doang is no mulong but is no lem is so is no dom ding tek is no na is no si then kung tayo sa jing mahajang baro kabha kung ini buat kung ta kung lo ang te blessable